sparking a roughly 10-mile chase.
Vehicle is now southbound I-5 from exit 179. State Patrol's ramming the vehicle.
Watch the moment police appear to ram the allegedly stolen vehicle, bringing the pursuit to an end.
I believe a taser had to be used.
Washington State Patrol telling NBC News by phone that the suspect resisted arrest. Police adding no one was injured.
So many things could have gone wrong. Whether, citizens could have been injured.
Today's video takes us to Seattle, Washington. Now, most breakdowns will usually define what is lawful and what is not. But we're here to dig a little deeper than that, to invoke thought and to create a conversation. I'm Sean Tyree. Welcome to Fest Life.
Watch this man standing in the middle of a Seattle freeway. In video obtained by TMZ, he appears to open a Washington State Patrol lieutenant's unmarked car door, pull her to the pavement, and take off in her cruiser.
State Patrol was assaulted by a subject who then took their patrol vehicle.
The police vehicle seen speeding away, lights flashing.
Oh my God, he just stole the cop car.
According to police, the wild scene played out Christmas Day when a Washington State Patrol lieutenant approached Alexander Eugene Smith, who was running across the freeway. A witness capturing video of the suspect walking toward the lieutenant's vehicle. Then police say Smith pushed the lieutenant down and stole her car, sparking a roughly 10-mile chase.
Vehicle is now southbound I-5 from exit 179. State Patrol's ramming the vehicle.
Watch the moment police appear to ram the allegedly stolen vehicle, bringing the pursuit to an end. Police say Smith was booked into jail for investigation of felony eluding, assault, DUI, and theft of a motor vehicle. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News.
So I want to let the video play, and now we're going to have an honest breakdown about this. Maybe a different take than a lot of people, but this conversation needs to be had. And I know that there's a lot of joking on the trooper there, rightfully so, especially given the situation of getting yanked out of your vehicle. There are a lot of good things that you can take away that the lieutenant was actually trying to do. And one thing she was trying to do was actually trying to help the troopers in that area. Remember from my earlier video, when I said that sometimes the trooper, if they need assistance or the backup can sometimes be 30 minutes away, depending on how bad the area or district that the trooper has to cover. So with this lieutenant being in the area and actually stopping, she was trying to do a good thing. We'll start right here with point number one, the positioning of the lieutenant's vehicle. As you can see here, the video is from a passerby. They have their camera going. Now, if you notice, if you can see my cursor right here, the positioning right here, there's an earlier video where you see where the lieutenant is actually trying to stop traffic by putting herself in harm's way. So the lieutenant's already putting herself in danger by trying to slow traffic, lights on, crossing multiple lanes of traffic. Before you get to this image right here, you can see where what you would call a rolling stop or rolling slow was alerting the oncoming traffic, hey, there's a situation that's going on. And the fact that this is in Seattle and you see that it's raining and it's gloomy, a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to the roadways at that. And it causes a lot of collisions that normally happen. And you'll see collisions all the time from vehicles not paying attention and essentially ramming into or just crashing into state troopers' vehicles or county patrol vehicles that's parked in the roadway.
Okay, that took a long time. So here's your cargo. You're suspended. Okay, I'm not taking you to jail. I'm letting you drive off.
Cam on that rainy day. It captured an accurate TSX apparently losing control while driving through standing water on the highway and then crossed several lanes. And then another view from a cruiser cam shows the moment one cruiser was struck, hitting the second cruiser, the Acura spinning to a stop, and then the first cruiser coming to a rest.
Now you see those clips. That's just two situations where you saw vehicles colliding into a cruiser, unbeknownst to them. So with the trooper, lieutenant trying this way, even though trying to do a good thing. That's why I say good things, right? Trying to do a good thing of trying to alert the traffic. There's a situation and a danger of possibly hitting someone. And unfortunately, prior to this incident just happened with this lieutenant, Washington State did just lose a trooper in the line of duty where the trooper was actually struck on the side of the road. Definitely want to say rest in peace and condolences to that trooper and condolences to the trooper's family.
approached Alexander Eugene Smith, who was running across the freeway. A witness capturing video of the suspect walking toward the lieutenant's vehicle. Then police say Smith pushed the lieutenant down and stole her car, sparking a roughly 10-mile chase.
Now, I'll get to point number 2 of the good thing, right? Because we see what's going to lead to this. So the point number 2 is the fact that she is a lieutenant. And like I alluded to earlier, she's probably trying to do a good thing by helping out the trooper that's assigned to that district or in that designated area by probably hearing it on the radio and attempting to, once again, probably be covered. Remember, troopers, their district partner can be miles away. So when the call came out, the lieutenant heard it on the radio, probably say, I'm close. Let me, one, trying to prevent a death or potentially someone being traumatized from striking the person that's in the middle of the roadway. So I want to note those good things that the lieutenant was doing or attempting to do. You can say, oh, Sean, you're shooting her to bail, whatever the case you want to say, but there are takeaways to every situation. All right. But the biggest thing, and this is where I say the conversation needs to be had, where I'm going to be honest. All right. We all know it's bad positioning. There are other things. Never let someone approach your vehicle, let alone open the door. Or this is a mental, emotional type of situation. Immediately, there's no you already know there's a mental, emotional situation when you're going to the call, a person weaving in and out of traffic in the roadway. But now we're going to have an honest conversation right here. So even though she put herself in this situation by trying to do a good thing, you have to also understand she is a lieutenant. And it doesn't matter her sex. I'm talking about the rank itself. All right. So there's a thing when the chain of command, when you go up, you got patrol, you have corporal, you have sergeant, and oftentimes you have lieutenants. Depending on the agency, sometimes you have patrol officer in charge, which is like having a corporal essentially. And then, or you have patrol, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, so on and so forth, not to get too deep into it. But most people know if you've been in this field, it doesn't matter. You can even be in the military. The higher you go up, the duller, in a sense, your edge can become. And what I mean by your edge becoming dull is because the higher you go up, the less you're connected to patrol activities. It's not essentially their fault. It's just the fact that the position and the requirements change. No, and I say this across the board. It doesn't matter. You can be a CEO of a company. You're not going to do what the employees or your basic employees do. Yeah, you can go in. I could say the same thing for nursing field. The higher you go up, you're not going to do the same things you do if you started off in emergency, right? Military, you go higher, you go up, you're not going to do the grunt work that, a private's going to do. So the reason why I say that is for the simple fact that, again, this is the lieutenant. Lieutenant, they normally become like administration. They do admin work. So there's a lot of things that they are disconnected from than what they do in patrol. So how they respond to a call is going to be different than a patrol officer, than a corporal or a sergeant or even a captain. You're a little bit more removed from the street activity, right? And how you respond to things is going to vary. And that's just the honest situation, honest conversation that we're going to have right here. And if you feel something different, say something in the comments below.
He appears to open a Washington State Patrol lieutenant's unmarked car door, pull her to the pavement, and take off in her cruiser.
State Patrol was...
So I just wanted to end it on that. Once again, like I said, allowing someone to open your car door is a no-no, but you have to understand the position that they're in. Sometimes your knife gets dulled, and you can clearly tell from that response. So the situation ended the best way that it could have. No injuries to an officer, no injuries to any pedestrians or any other vehicles out on the roadway. Everyone else responded and was able to essentially apprehend the suspect in the long run. Understand there's chatter about should the lieutenant be disciplined, should they not, but that's up to the agency. All right, I'm not going to get into that. My personal opinion, the fact that this went viral and the fact that it's an embarrassment of a situation, especially with the talks of within her own agency, that's more than a reprimand can ever do. And I'll leave it at that. With that being said, if you're law enforcement of old, law enforcement of new, or even just the general public, if you learn anything from this video, drop a like and a comment below. And like always, Jesus is the light of the way.